What is going on, young men between 18 and 29? I am the over 50 guy slash the online dad. Listen, I want to talk to you guys about a serious subject today. I mean, all of them are serious, but this is something that needs some extra attention from you guys. I want to talk to you guys about, crashing out over women. I heard of an incident here recently where a young man went and harmed some people and tried to harm himself, all over the ending of a relationship that he was in. Harmed the young lady that he was with and then tried to harm himself afterwards. And what I would tell you guys is I have been here long enough to know and to have seen the ideal of guys who give their all and invest heavily into ladies, whether it be their wife or girlfriends or whatever, only to have that same wife or girlfriend turn around and, choose another guy. And what I would tell you guys, especially at your age, is that is not only common, that's almost a given, right? Not saying all women would do that, but I am saying most from my experience. These, young ladies nowadays, and it's always been this way. Listen, they are young. They like that thing just like you like that thing. They want that thing just like you want that thing. Listen, you've been taught your whole life that, they are sugar and spice and everything nice. No, the reality of it is they're just like you, a lot of them, right? So you almost have to expect that you may have to deal with the ideal of you're in a serious committed relationship that that woman may not be all that committed to you. And this is why, guys, I'm telling you, being in a serious relationship at this point in your life is probably not the best idea, for that very reason, that you invest this time and this energy. It doesn't work out. And a lot of guys at your age, that is very difficult to handle. I know from experience, guys, I've been married, countless relationships, where I have just given so much and given everything just for, a woman to make another choice. And yes, when I was younger, I will have to tell you, I was devastated by that and hurt. I've done this, I've done that, I haven't ran around, I haven't done that. And listen, guys, I have seen it. Guys will crash out over that, hurt themselves, hurt other people, all over a woman that really doesn't want them or care about them in that regard anyway. This is why, guys, I preach to you constantly about not to be or not to make women and sex and that your priority now. Because let me tell you what ends up happening when you make that your priority. When you make that your priority and you're chasing that, you'll get it. And somebody will make you feel that you're the world, give you the warm and fuzzies, and the next thing you know, you are in this serious relationship and you are caught up with them and everything is everything, and you forget about all of the stuff that you should be doing for yourself. That's why I'm an advocate of few good platonic friends that you don't allow your feelings to get mixed up in, because guys, you will crash out if you don't keep the focus on you. And that's what happens by and large to a lot of men out here. They meet somebody, the sex is good, they really don't know who they're dealing with, and after time, the chinks in the armor starts to show. And by that time, you are so heavily invested, whether it be emotions, whether it be financially. I see why guys crash out. No, I won't say that. I won't say I see why guys crash out. It's like, damn, yeah, you did all of that and this is what you get. Yeah, I can understand being upset. You've paid rent and car notes, which is absolutely retarded to me, but I guess guys do that now, for a girlfriend or somebody that you're just, banging out. And then when they don't, do the things that you want them to do in response or in reciprocation to that, then you crash out. And guys, listen, I'm going to warn you against that now. Getting emotionally involved with someone at this point in your life, I would absolutely steer you against that for this very reason. You know how many men are in jail right now, or how many men are in the ground right now because they've crashed out over a woman. They've crashed out over a woman that they believed really cared about them, really had their best interest in mind, only to find out that that wasn't the case. They crashed out over women that they were totally committed to and found out that that woman wasn't committed to them. Guys, it happens all the time. Listen, if it happens to married people, you know, it happens to people that's been married for 20 and 30 years. What do you think is going to happen with your relationship of all of 3 to 6 months or a year? I am not against relationships, young man, not at all. But I have seen this so much in my lifetime that it is not even funny. I've experienced it myself, where I was so focused on relationships and making this thing work, all the while the person that I was with had a whole nother program. And that thing is devastating, you know. And for some people, you know, it's devastating. You don't crash out. You take the hit, you bounce back, and you keep pushing. For some people, it's not that simple, and it becomes a thing where it is much worse. So what am I saying to you guys today? The way that you can prevent yourselves from crashing out over women out here, how about a few things? Number one, don't be so easy. Don't be so quick and easy to just give in. You know what I mean? Like, I know and I've seen in my time that, you know, there are guys that, you know, if you don't have a lot of experience with women, or you don't have a lot of interaction with women, and y'all know what I'm talking about, then usually the first one that comes along, you're just gushing and you're giving everything you got. Don't be that guy, right? Don't be that guy. Listen, I know you're young. I know that you want to, you know, and you should, you know, be around women and experience them. But don't be that guy. Don't be that guy that just the first one that comes along, you're just giving your all. That's number one. Number two, guys, pay attention. If you are going through all of these moves and steps, and there's a pretty good chance that, you know, there's no interest there. And guys, these, you know, a lot of women nowadays, they're vicious. Listen, they don't have to have interest in you to use your resources. Let me say that again. They don't have to be interested in you to use your resources. So if you are in a position where you have resources and they know you're shelling it out, they don't have to like you to take advantage of that. So look for reciprocation. You know, you do this and she does that back. You know, pay for this time she pays. It keeps you out of that situation where you have just done all of this stuff. You've just done all of this stuff, and when she walks away, or when she, you know, shows true colors, you're not like, you know, dang, I've invested all of this and I got nothing back. Lastly, guys, there's a space that we all have. You can call it your heart, you can call it, you know, emotions or whatever. But there's a space that we all have, guys. And I have given that space away more times than I care to remember. And everybody doesn't deserve that space. Everybody shouldn't have access to that space. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and because we shell some money, because we get some box or whatever, oh, we're just gushing. We're just gushing over, you know, she's mine. No, she's not yours. It's just your turn. I say that all the time to my son. Don't give yourself that part of yourself that should be reserved for people, you know, who truly care about you. Don't give that space up so quick. And I see guys do that a lot of times. And that, incidentally, is the reason I believe why men crash out. That they gave up that intimate space. They gave up that part to someone expecting to get it back, and they didn't. And it hurts. And it hurts a lot of men so much that they are willing to lash out and act out in ways that are not in their best interest. So yeah, guys, I just don't want you to crash out. I want you focused on building yourselves. I want you focused on building yourselves. So when it comes to this right here, you ain't crashing out over one because you got 4 more over here waiting. right, that would love to be in the space of the one that just walked away. That's where I want you in life when it comes to the context of, relationship and women. You're usually crashing out because that's the only option that you have. I bet you ain't crashing out if you had 4 or 5, the guys that did actually crash out over chicks. I bet they wouldn't crash out if they had 4 or 5 that was just like that one waiting to take the place. Guys, you have to keep the focus on you. You have to keep the focus on building yourself. It is easy to crash out over women, particularly at your age, because you are willing to invest everything. You're willing to give your heart and your mind. And what a lot of you don't understand is a lot of these I won't say most, a lot of women don't have to be on that page to still kick it with you and get resources from you and get enough resources. And when they're done, because they haven't invested that intimate spot with you, it's easy to just walk away and go to the next guy. Don't do that. Look, we ain't about crashing out over these women out here. We're about building ourselves, creating options for ourselves. So if one walks away, if we choose, another one is right in that place. So that's all I got today, guys. Listen, I am the Over 50 guy / the online dad. Hope this added some value to you today.